So this is a movie that is set in Amsterdam, and it revolves around four main characters.
Sophie is a student. She studies, I guess, literature. She's focusing on her thesis, which is about some poetry movement.
It was about the transcendentalist. That's it.
Quite intelligent woman, and she feels like her beauty is masking her intelligence, basically.
Tragically beautiful in the respect that it becomes a real problem for her.
She's always been this beautiful girl who gets a lot of attention. A lot of people see her and notice her, but only for the wrong reasons.
She's being judged on how she looks and not so much on her personality, which she finds very frustrating.
And I think she's slightly, like, a bit lost, I would say.
Luke is a business manager for a software company, and he wants to do well. He has his eye on a red sports car. He currently rides a bicycle, mind you.
Her boyfriend is really sweet to her, and he tries to really make her love him.
Broodje kaas. Like a kind of boring guy who found this more exciting girlfriend to make his life more exciting. That's what he seems like.
He needs to have like this good income so he can take care of her, and she sees things differently.
I would say Bron was maybe the most interesting. He's quite unusual, you know?
Luke sees him on the street corner coming out of a tobacco shop.
He sees an old friend of his that he lived with in Berlin.
Luke is so excited to have seen Bron that he invites him to go meet his girlfriend Sophie at a little cafe. Sophie doesn't really have a very good impression of Bron, to be honest. She thinks he's a bit of a strange guy because he's kind of quiet.
He's like a very neutral person. Like, he's a little bit detached from emotion.
Luke probably envies Bron a little bit. Like, Bron is very cool, mysterious.
And he's the only person that he's ever met that he really trusts.
On the other side, we see how Bron almost didn't even, know or want to know him that much.
Luke admires Bron, maybe even adores him. And for Bron not to even remember him.
Bron looks to be a person who doesn't really put that much energy into his relationship with people, probably because he's focused at something else. Or maybe because he's brain damaged.
Bron, who is a photographer, used to be a concert violinist in Berlin.
And then he got whacked in the head, and then he forgot how to play the violin. But he got a new ability, and that is photography. So he has become a very visual person, I guess.
Sophie finds out that Bron takes nude photographs. He's going to be showing at a really good, well-known, respected gallery in Den Haag.
And he sees something in Sophie that makes him think that she might be the right person for that session. And then he just asks her.
And he asks Sophie if she will pose for him. She then, surprisingly, to everyone at the table, says yes.
Which I think is a trigger for a lot of different emotions.
You can feel already like that there is also like this tension between them. There's some sort of little irritation with Luke.
Yeah, I found it interesting that Luke was not really jealous of that beginning. So it means that, he really wants to be in touch with Bron, even if it's just via his girlfriend being the model.
I think that probably at first he doesn't think she'll actually do it.
That's actually more of a reason to do it anyway, just to challenge herself.
She's also intrigued by this man because he's very mysterious. You even feel that probably something is gonna happen between the two of them. That's your first thought when you see that they're gonna meet, she's gonna be naked, etc.
And when she finally does take the step, she doesn't feel comfortable straight away.
And Sophie shows up for her first day of shooting.
The scene I can really relate to, and when I close my eyes, just vision it. That moment when she's standing there and he's holding the camera, telling her where to stand, and she's still in her robe, but knows that she has to take it off and expose herself. It's so exciting. It's thrilling because you know that from that moment on she's gonna change, but you don't know how she's gonna change, and she blooms into this other person, even though she is doing something she would never do.
I think she finds this relationship with Bron is quite an exciting one. I guess she's a bit bored of her relationship with Luke.
And she reconnects, of course, with Luke in a very sexy way, because the first session, she's completely turned on by being naked in front of a camera, and she attacks her boyfriend because she's just really horny and excited.
So every time after she comes from a shoot, they have this wild sex, but you already know that this wild sex is nothing to do with the two of them.
The sessions continue, and one evening, a woman appears at the door by the name of Moo.
Oh yeah, Moo. Fly by the seat of her pants kind of person, you know? She's busy traveling around and
A lovely sort of wanderer, vagabond,
just crashing on people's couches and...
the kind of person who will drink your wine and eat your food and smoke your cigarettes.
But she's still like a likable character in that she's fun.
She's been like away. She's been to jail. She was in jail in Thailand. She's like please help me out like for a couple of days, you know, like I have nowhere else to go. So Bron opens the door, she walks in.
She immediately interjects herself into the situation.
Sophie doesn't know who it is, and it's really a strange moment. It's like another strange person in this studio.
I think her first response will be a bit shock, because here comes another woman. Here comes competition.
But they get to know each other, and
The two women relate to each other as women, and it's kind of, in a way, nice for there to be an extra person there, especially a woman.
She becomes his assistant in the photo shoot that he has with Sophie.
And it's also when Moo comes that the scenes start to be more interesting. It feels those two females connecting with a male also in the room, but this male is a bit neutral, and
You see this intimacy start to grow between the two women.
Lucas in the beginning, he's like all right with the photo shoot. He thought that the shoot would take only like a couple of days.
Luke realizes that Sophie is spending more time with Bron than he is.
I definitely get the feeling that Luke, from the beginning, is afraid to lose her, because he already starts to talk about, like, oh, I want her back in one piece, and
It should be done by now. He wants things to go back to normal. Sophie notices that Bron stares off into space.
the whole staring into blank space as if he's looking at something.
Something's going on that nobody else seems to know what the hell it is. And then Moo explains that that's called a dream leak, and it's something that he's always had after he got bonked on the head. All of a sudden, Sophie realizes, oh, well, Moo has known him since Berlin, and she didn't really quite put all that together.
Well, Moo was with Bron when they were in Berlin, so she is an ex-girlfriend.
They were in a relationship, Bron and Moo, but that she can't stay in a relationship that doesn't involve sex. So, of course, Sophie's really surprised. He must get turned on, and Moo explains very carefully that no, indeed, he doesn't. He's impotent.
It has become the case that he's now an asexual kind of person. That maybe came also through the whack in the head.
And then Sophie realizes that this is sex for him. There's a jump rope that Moo tries to jump rope, and she's not very good at it. But then Sophie picks up the jump rope, and she's completely naked, and she starts jumping, and she gets into the rhythm of it, and her whole body is moving with the up and down and this defiant rapture. This is a turning point.
Yeah, she takes command. Until then, she's only just doing whatever Bronze tells her to do. And at this moment, she takes it, and I think she's kind of teasing him as well. She's trying to provoke a reaction, so things get more kinky and exciting.
The film spirals into something that we don't actually expect to have happen. Now, I don't know if I should reveal everything. What I can say is that there are a lot of surprises on every front. I love Eiffel. I believe in the film. I believe in the style, the vision, the integrity Collins will bring to this project. I believe that the people we already have on board are committed and capable.
Then what is the biggest danger? Like, what's the worst thing that could happen to this movie?
Not happening?